Do you consider yourself a pretty boy?
I would think so.
Do you think that helps you in business?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. Have you experienced heartbreak?
Yeah, I have.
And what did that teach you?
This is definitely the Healy couch, for sure.
Let's sit on the couch, let's talk it out. Come on, join the show, I'll tell you what I know. Oh, talk about it. It's the best podcast, let's have a blast.
What's good, family? It is season 3, and you already know where I am, on the healing couch. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again, that this show was actually created with the idea being therapy on a budget. And that really shows up when I talk to my fellow creators, because we be going through it, trying to make the dream a reality. And I'm so excited to chat with today's guest, as he is a fashion illustrator and a designer rising to the top, Solomon Lawrence.
That's right. Thank you.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I am great. Now hold on. I want to see what's in this box first before we start talking.
Go for it.
What? Okay, you brought me something.
Yeah, of course I did.
Okay, let's do it. Can we open it on camera? Are the cameras rolling?
All right.
Okay. Well, thank you for this. First of all, the package. Talk about it.
Let's go for it. What do you want to talk about?
This is amazing.
Well, thank you.
You're not gonna get this at Foot Locker or nowhere.
No, you're not.
Oh my God, the box is so cool. Wow. Okay. Well, this is really cool. I don't know. Do you want me to? This is.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Look at the brand. Hey, you wrote me a letter? All right, we're going to do this later. Thank you so much. I'm really excited to talk to you because I've seen you on social doing some really cool things. Mm-hmm. I want to know, what has been the biggest growth area in your brand from day one to now?
Okay, so the biggest growth area in the business this far has been our menswear tracksuits. The girls have been hounding me. Like how Rihanna does, social media is waiting for Rihanna to drop her music or whatever. Yeah. That's how the girls are with the tracksuits.
Oh.
So we have these menswear tracksuits. They've been on a few celebrities. They were also on the first season of Bel-Air. So you can catch them there. And they'll also be on some of the NFL segments during the Super Bowl host experience.
Okay.
So definitely the tracksuits have been our biggest growth this far.
That's cool. And so you mentioned Bel-Air. How did that come about?
Okay,
because I'm a big fan of that show.
Yeah, did you see the whole season?
I saw the whole season. Yes,
so good.
Yes, season 2.
Okay, so one of my friends is the costume director. His name is Fernando.
Okay,
so he's the costume director for Bel-Air, and he's like, hey, let's give it a shot. I want to pick up the tracksuits and see if I can present them to the cast or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And they actually landed on the first clip, main character on the first episode. So the opening credits, Jabari is his name. He's actually wearing the gray tracksuit as his school outfit. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of how that happened.
That's cool. Look at you.
Yeah, that's kind of neat, right?
Okay. True or false?
Yes.
People that kiss with their eyes open are psychopaths.
That is kind of creepy, right? I'm going to go with psychopath. I'm going to go with yes. I'm agree.
I kiss with my eyes open.
Oh, well, I'm so sorry. But I think it must be a little crazy there.
I think it's a control problem. Anyways.
Is that crazy?
Yeah.
I've never thought about that. I've never kissed anybody with my eyes open.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Yeah. Okay. Being a brand, new brand or a newer brand, not brand new, but a newer brand, how do you strategically market yourself to customers?
Okay, so such a good question.
Yeah.
So I would say, coming out as the designer, a lot of my customers have kind of seen the journey from the very beginning, from college, from high school, and they've kind of followed me all the way up until this point, right? So usually when it comes to fashion brands, celebrities and social influencers are major drivers as to how they, build their businesses, right? I wanted to go against the grain, and I really wanted to showcase myself and my skill set. So for me, my ultimate goal was to show the actual behind the scenes process of actually developing the product, showcasing the talent, the education experience required, so on and so forth. So my strategy has been just a little bit more personal, I would say.
It takes a lot to start a brand, a clothing line, right? Yeah. It does. It takes a lot. So where do you get this money from?
That is such a good question. Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay, so I would say I was very hell-bent, right? Because the thing is, as a kid, I've always wanted to be an artist. I feel like I was proficient in art since I was 8, right?
Yeah.
And going to college for fashion, I knew what I was signing up for, but not really
Yeah.
when it comes to just clothing is just one part of the business, but you got to think about marketing. You have to think about the photography. You have to think about web design. You got to think about your legal, like the legalities, all of these different things.
Right.
So when I jumped out, you know, my dad used to play for the Raiders, and he's like, "Hey, here's $20,000. Like, figure it out." Right?
My
Well-
uncle loves the Raiders.
Who does?
My uncle.
Well, tell your uncle. Yeah. Hey,
okay. Uncle
okay.
Carl.
Uncle Carl.
Anyways, go ahead.
So, so he's like, "Here's $20,000. Figure it out." Basically. And the thing is, that's like a scratch in this business.
Oh, for sure.
It's a scratch.
Uh-huh.
So with that, I would say in totality, like you're talking about hundreds of thousands, right? So when you say, where does this money come from? I feel like I've been blessed because my customers have been able to help fund the business as we continue to grow and stuff.
Right.
So for me, a lot of people who come into this space, they come in with a lot of disposable income. You're talking about $200,000, $300,000 to kind of get everything done up front. I've had to build year by year. So like first year, I'm tackling this part of the business, like your trademarks, your legalities, your packaging, right? Second year, okay, now we're gonna expand and do, you know, marketing. And then what does that look like? Okay, optimize your websites, yada, yada, yada. Then the third year is like, okay, integrate like a marketing agency or whatever. And then fund that. And then the fourth year. So it's like, it's been piece by piece for sure.
Do you consider yourself a pretty boy?
I would think so.
Do you think that helps you in business?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. Have you experienced heartbreak?
Yeah, I have.
And what did that teach you?
This is definitely the Hilly Couch, for sure. This is definitely the Hilly Couch, okay?
Yeah.
What has that taught me? What has heartbreak taught me? I was not even prepared for that question.
We do have to heal on a time schedule, though.
Okay, you're right. Okay, let me speed it up. I would say, what has heartbreak taught me? I would say, can't really put all your eggs in one basket. I know that sounds kind of crazy. And I would say, you know, if you have, I feel like for my situation, it was a kind of your passion or the relationship.
Oh, okay.
And I feel like I would just never put myself in a situation like that again.
And so you put all of your time in the relationship and not your passion?
No, opposite.
Oh, the opposite.
Yeah.
And so you say you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. Does that mean like you don't want to devote your time and energy to one person because of the heartbreak and you want to split it up between people just in case something to fall back on?
Okay, so I'm gonna say this. So I would say when I was in this relationship, right? It was the beginning of this business, right?
Yeah.
And the thing was, as you know, like you already have the business outline and all is money is required and time is required to really build it out. So when
same for dating.
Yeah.
Money and time. But go ahead.
Money and time. So I would say in my situation, you know, I was in the beginning of this business, and because things did not manifest in the time, I guess that was required or whatever case may be, the relationship kind of went south, right?
Gotcha.
Because if you're dating someone and they're like, you know, some people want you to produce results. Like, okay, like it's not about you having a vision. It's about what can you show me now, not what can you show me in the future.
That's real.
You get what I mean?
Oh, yes.
So I would say for myself, as it pertains to me dating, I want to build the vision first and then tackle a relationship, right? Because I never want to compromise either one of them again. I never want to be in a relationship and continuously build a business and because until they can complement each other.
Okay.
And my last relationship, there was no.
What's your type?
What is my type? I would say a leader.
A leader.
A leader. I love a good leader.
Yeah.
Someone who is very direct.
Oh, well, hold on. People say that. And then they find somebody like me and then they're crying every day.
Oh, damn. You're a heartbreaker?
I'm direct.
I love direct.
Sure. Go ahead.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this: when you're an entrepreneur, you need someone to be direct because entrepreneurship is not cookie cutter, right? When people are paying their money, they're not gonna kiss your ass. Cool. So I like direct, and I would say,
what race?
We're gonna go with black.
Okay. Well, what do you think about the copycat designs and designers?
So I would say on the forefront, it's flattering because I feel like it just kind of ensures you that you're on the right path. And people are inspired by your work. I would say that there's tack associated with it, right?
Yeah.
And I think there's a way about going about, referencing someone's work. I definitely feel like designers should be able to pay homage or recognize other talent or other designers and say, hey, like I was inspired by yada, yada, yada. And I would also say not blatant copycat, right? Like you can pull inspiration for someone without plagiarizing their work.
Right.
Yeah, I think plagiarizing, totally different.
That's right.
And I feel like if everyone plagiarized everyone's work, you wouldn't have any originality.
Yeah.
Right? Because usually 9 chances out of 10, if you're plagiarizing someone else's work, you are providing that service at a lesser cost because it costs a lot of money to go through design and creation and development and stuff like that for somebody just to come on board and steal it and sell it 50% of what you sell it for.
Right.
So
how would you describe yourself in one sentence?
I would say, how would I describe myself in one sentence? I would say driven, focused, and a visionary.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
How would somebody else describe you in one sentence in the bedroom?
In the bedroom?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say a pleaser.
That's one word.
Is that one word? You needed more.
Whoa, a pleaser.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Sure. Wow. Okay, cool. Why you though? Why you? Everybody and their mama have a brand.
Why me?
Yeah.
Such a good question. Such a good question. So ironically, I didn't want it to be me, right? So when I went to college, I went to school for business and fashion, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've learned everything outside of college. And when, but granted, when I'm going into the spaces and applying for fashion designer roles and stuff, granted, I mean, I have the apparel construction, I've took advanced construction classes, done the whole fashion shows, yada, yada, yada. But there's a certain skill that's required in order for you to be a corporate fashion designer.
Yeah.
Obviously, as a college student, I didn't know that. So when I was applying for these roles and stuff for 2 years, my resume just wasn't picking up. Right. And despite me feeling like, okay, like I've been on the news, I've done led fashion shows, I've done the whole apparel thing, yada, yada, yada. My resume's not picking up. I'm not really understanding. So at that point, that's when me and my dad had the conversation. I'm like, hey, like I know that I can do this and I want to do this. Like, will you partner with me on this? And then that's kind of how that journey started.
When is it ever okay to quit?
So when is it ever okay?
Sometimes you got to throw in the towel,
You do have to throw in the towel.
When is it ever okay? You got me the only person up here drinking on my show.
Let me go ahead and I was waiting for you.
No, yeah.
I would say, I think when everything around you starts to lapse and everything around you starts to decay because of it is what you're doing, I would say that's when it's probably time to throw in the towel.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You got to pick up a new something.
Do you think that you would survive in a horror movie?
Absolutely not.
No?
No, I'm probably the first to die.
Dang.
That's
very stereotypical.
Is it? Well, it must be true then because I'm too gullible.
Too gullible?
Yeah, too gullible. Like I'll open the door, I'll be best friends with the killer. Hey, how's it going? What is that knife? Are you coming to cut cake? Cut cake.
Did you just call yourself a little slow?
Yeah, well, gullible. Well, because I feel like I've been sheltered.
Oh, okay.
So like
that's real. You're aware.
Yeah, I am aware that I feel like I've been sheltered. Like I haven't really seen the bad sides of people, right? I haven't really been in any like traumatic situations. So I feel like for myself, I always look for the best in people.
So you have a lot of privilege.
Is that what that is?
That's what you're telling me.
Well, I guess that's what it is then.
What's your favorite product you've made so far?
Ooh, my favorite product that I made this far. So many good ones.
You can pick one.
It's kind of hard. I would probably say our women's shoulder bag.
Oh,
is one of my favorites.
It's very specific. Yeah, okay.
Our women's shoulder bag because it's very clever. It's a very clever bag.
Okay, I feel it. Do you have I know we talked a little about your pleasure, but like, do you have a favorite sexual position?
I would say missionary.
Missionary.
Yeah, I feel I'm like a conservative.
Are you single?
I am single.
What annoys you about dating?
What annoys me about dating? I would say just the people feeling like they need to interview. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like you see a certain side of people, and it's not always their authentic selves. And then you have to kind of play.
Yes. Okay. So wait. So
You know what I
I
mean?
know I had a thought process this week,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
And it was the fact that when you meet somebody for the first time,
They're going to show you who they want.
your representative shows up.
Of course,
It's the
the
representative
representative.
of who you are.
Absolutely.
And so they're giving you that version.
At 29, 28, 30, it's just like you're over that part.
So you don't want the representative at all? When does the representative leave?
I want authentic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I know, granted, people are not going to necessarily give you that up
Sometimes
front.
people's representative is authentic, but it's like,
This is true.
if they normally like to fart in public places, if
that's
they meet
that's a
you
no.
and they choose not to do that, that's the representative.
This is true, because that would be kind of gross. And I don't like that.
Okay. You're not into fart play.
Absolutely not.
Do you have
I
any
don't-
kinks?
No, I don't. And I didn't even think that was a thing.
None? You have no kinks?
No.
No, you don't. No?
Mm-mm.
No toe sucking?
Oh, well, actually, if that's considered kink, sure. I do like my toe sucked, actually. Well, you asked the question, so.
Okay. Well, that is really fun. Okay. Fingers too?
No.
No. But
Mm-mm.
toe sucking?
I do
is
like
for
nice
sure.
nails, though.
Yeah.
Like, you got to have nice fingernails.
Yeah. Let me see.
I feel like
Nail cam? Do we have nail cam? No, I'm playing.
Okay.
I'm playing.
you got to catch the nails, because I don't fuck with those.
My gosh. Okay. And your number one rule that you follow in business?
Just do everything with integrity.
Yeah.
I think if you move about in business with integrity, you'll have limited to no regrets. You know, even when you're like, even the highs and the lows, if you're doing things with a purpose,
Yeah.
you'll be okay.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. Can you play a game with me?
Let's do it.
Okay, so the game is called Can You Imagine?
Let's do it. Can I
Okay.
imagine?
Can you imagine? So basically, it's two different scenarios.
Okay,
And which one is more likely for you? What can you imagine for yourself?
let's do it.
Okay. Oh, Lord. So here we go. Can you imagine being fired because you're black or being hired because you're black?
Okay, so you have to give me the rundown on the rules again. So,
Which one is more likely for your, like, I can imagine that. I can imagine being fired because I'm black. Or I can imagine being hired because I'm black.
I'm gonna go with I can imagine me being hired because I'm black.
Do you like that?
Yeah, I would think so.
Okay.
Well, I know that sounds kind of crazy, but I feel like why not?
Okay. Can you imagine
Yeah.
being in a fight club or being in a book club?
Ooh, I'm gonna go with the Fight Club.
You
I'm
be
a little
fighting?
rowdy, yes.
You be fighting?
Yeah.
When's the last time you fought?
Ooh. Well, you know what? It's been a long time. But you know, back in my days, we was out there fighting in clubs. But yeah, no.
Where were you?
In LA.
Fighting?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
How many fights you been in?
Maybe like 8.
Really? And do you win?
Got it. Well, yeah, I guess.
That's a no. Can you imagine going without deodorant or going without a toothbrush?
I'm gonna go with without deodorant.
Mm-hmm.
I can have no crazy breath.
Okay. Can you imagine losing all your designs or losing all your money?
Losing all my money.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine sucking toes or licking the inner thigh?
I'm gonna go with licking the inner thigh.
Mm.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
So you just abandon your toe fetish for the inner thigh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you imagine seeing your dating life in 10 years from now or 6 months into the future of the world?
6 months into the future of the world. Or the other one was, you said seeing my relationship in 10 years.
Yeah.
Well, that would be interesting. I would say 10 years from now, seeing my relationship in 10 years.
Yeah. How many relationships have you been in?
One.
Really?
Just one.
Yeah. Why did it dissipate?
Ooh. Yeah, this is a healing couch. There was so many factors. It was so many factors. I feel like we were 6 years apart. So I think the age difference definitely kind of forced the wedge between us.
Do you talk about your age? How old are you?
29.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
29, 6 years apart. And yeah, I feel like our career goals were totally different. You know?
Oh, okay.
Some people are very, very,
That makes sense.
yeah. Some people are pro dreamers
Yeah, for sure.
and have visions. And then some people are very, you know, I want something that with security.
Did you ever cheat?
No,
You ever been cheated on?
not to my knowledge.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being here. How can the people keep up with you?
Okay, so you guys can follow me on Instagram at Solomon Lawrence. You can check out my website at solomonlawrence.com. And yeah.
Well, we're rooting for you, Solomon Lawrence.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much for my gift.
Yes, of course.
Buy up, stream up, and do you think you can finish this all in
One go?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
You want it? Okay, here we go.
We did it.
That was fun.
That was fun.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Hey friends, thanks so much for tapping into this episode. Make sure you subscribe, like, and follow for more right here on YouTube and wherever you stream your podcast. Oh, and visit archiej.com and follow me on social media at ArchieJ okay? And don't miss our weekly conversations right here on the Archie Podcast. Get into it.